तस्मै चिद्बोधदीपाय दुर्वितर्क्यात्मवर्त्मने गुरवे मनसोऽतीतस्वरूपमहसे नमः। मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम्। सोपानं 1। गुरुवर प्रभो तव कृपादृशा भाति हृत्स्थले बोधभानुमा। The Lord descended. अज्ञानान्तर्गहनपतितान् आत्मविद्योपदेशैः त्रातुं लोकान् भवदवशिकातापपापच्यमाना मुक्त्वा मौनं वटविटपिनोर्मूलतो निष्पतन्ति शम्भोर्मूर्तिश्चरति भुवने शङ्कराचार्यरूपा। Shankara Vijayam. Full of compassion for the jivas suffering in the tormenting fires of samsara due to their abysmal ignorance, Bhagavan Dakshinamurti, sitting still under the Vatavriksha, the banyan tree, left his silence and descended to the earth in the form of Shankaracharya to redeem them by imparting Atma Vidya. The nectar of self-knowledge has to be obtained by churning the milky ocean of the Vedas. Mundaka Upanishad proclaims emphatically, Tamevaikam janatha atmanamanya vacho vimunjatha amritasyaisha setuhu. Mundaka Upanishad 2.2.5. Know the self alone. Discard all sensory distractions. This alone is the bridge to immortality. The root cause for all misfortunes is forgetfulness of one's true nature. One who does not know himself is pitiable indeed. Atma jnana vihina moodhaste pachyante naraka nigudha. The ignorant, without self-knowledge, go through various forms of tormenting miseries, says Acharya. Worldly knowledge does not give release from sorrows. On the contrary, it aggravates them. So, the very goal of human birth is to acquire self-knowledge. Knowledge and actions that are not conducive to this aim are futile. Shiva, as Dakshinamurti, imparted the knowledge of the self, Brahma Vidya, to the 4 sons of Brahma through mystic silence. Out of boundless compassion for the seekers, the Lord gave up the silence and came down in the form of the divine sage, Sri Shankara, walked the length and breadth of Bharatavarsha, cleansing and purifying the land with the celestial Ganga of self-knowledge. Chidananda Vyad Ganga, cascading from the heights of his realization. The amazing divine story of how that rain cloud of knowledge, brimming with the waters from the ever blissful ocean of the Vedas, rained down the nectarine self-knowledge with a thunderous declaration of the Vedanta Mahavakya that all this is indeed Brahman. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma is what we are about to see in this divine epic. The words Shankaraha Shankara Sakshat. Shankara is the ever auspicious Lord Shiva himself, or true to the letter. Sham means happiness, peace, bliss. It can be attained only through knowledge. Therefore, knowledge itself is Sham. Sham is the knowledge that removes the veil that covers the self. The Acharya who grants it is Shankara. Sham karoti iti Shankaraha. The essence of Vedanta itself is the life of Shankara, Shankara Charita. Life of Shankara itself is Vedanta Darshana. The liberated soul is one who has transcended life and death. So where is the question of biography for the never-born Shankara? Yet, as we have the misapprehension of having a body and mind, strongly identify with the individuality, Jiva Bhava, and thus flounder in the illusion of birth and death, Ishvara himself comes in the form of a guru, appearing to have a mind and body like us. Jatah iva lokanugraham kurvanniva lakshyate. As though born, as though doing good to the world. From Gita Bhashya. Thus, manifesting in a form and imparting the knowledge of the self, he makes us transcend the body and mind. See what Sri Shankara continues to elucidate in his Gita Bhashya. Avidya kalpita nama rupa visheshakara apahritta buddhinam atyanta prasiddham suvigneyam asannataram atma bhutamapi aprasiddham durvigneyam atiduram anyadivacha pratibhati avivekinam bahyakara nivritta buddhinam labdha gurvatma prasadanam tu na atah param sukham suprasiddham suvigneyam swasannataram asti. To those whose intelligence is captivated by the illusory names, forms, and qualities superimposed by ignorance, for them the truth, in spite of being ever available, ever known, immediate, and remaining as one's own self in the form of I, appears to be never available, never knowable, very far, and as separate from oneself. But for those who have the blessings of the Guru and the grace of the Self, there is nothing which is more easily knowable, accessible, joyful, or intimate than this. While the Guru blesses the seeker by imparting the knowledge of the Self, the ardent seeker must be ripe enough to receive it and recognize the Self. This ripening has to happen through bhakti and karma yoga. Bhagavan Vyasa says, Bhaktya puman jata viraga aindriyat labdhas vritiriyati atipara madhvanaha. Through bhakti, one develops dispassion for sense objects, leading to the gradual awakening of the knowledge of the self. The person thus enlightened transcends the cycle of birth and death. Listening to the stories of the Lord, of His devotees, and hearing about the life and spiritual practices of great saints is an important bhakti sadhana. Acharya Shankara is a Jnani, Bhakta, and Bhagavan, all in one. These direct disciples who saw, moved about, interacted intimately, and surrendered completely to Acharya with great devotion, have all sung about him as Lord Shiva himself. While Totakacharya praises him saying, Bhava eva bhavan, you are Shiva himself. Padmapada says, Namami abhogi parivara sampadam. Prostrations to Sri Shankara, who is adorned by serpents and is always followed by the group of renunciates. Sureshwaracharya says, Tasmai Shankara Bhanave Tanmano Vagbhir Namasyat Sada. Prostrations with body, mind and words to the glorious Son of Knowledge, Shankara. Chidvilasa adores him thus. Yatirupadharam Vande Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Prostrations to Shiva, Shankara, who has taken the form of a sannyasi to bless the world. He also says, Chidananda Tanum Vande Bhujaram Parameshwaram. Prostrations to Lord Parameshwara, who walks on the earth embodying the bliss of the self. Sureshwaracharya, in his monumental work Naishkarmya Siddhi, worships Acharya as Guru Guruhu, the Guru of all Gurus. More than 1,000 years later, Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharishi, who with equal magnificence shone brilliantly as a teacher of Jnana, describes Acharya as Lord Parameshwara himself in his translation of Acharya's Viveka Chudamani into Tamil. Those who read this divine life story are sure to acquire unflinching devotion to Guru and God, reverence for Vedic Dharma, insight, Vyutpatti into Vedanta Shastra, earnestness in self-enquiry, and the joy of meditation. This work deals only with those facts in Shankara's life about which most historians hold a consensus. The works of Sri Bhagavad-pada himself, as well as those of his disciples, verses from the Vedas and certain yogic revelations are referenced. Controversies raised by Indian and Western scholars on Shankaracharya's period and other details have been avoided deliberately. As it is in Srimad Bhagavata, in this Paramahamsa Samhita too, stories, hymns and teachings have been closely interwoven. Excerpts from the Bhashya that help clarify doubts for a student of Vedanta have been included at appropriate places. Hence, it is particularly helpful for earnest seekers. Let us meditate on this divine story for the purification of our minds. The outcome of listening to the stories of sages is devotion, reverence, meditative experience, truthfulness, a spirit of sacrifice, an ardent yearning for self-knowledge, mumukshutva. Divine stories awaken ecstatic moods, melt the heart, lead to deep meditation, inspire flashes of divine awareness and inebriating trance. No other Mahatma or sage has done such extensive work in preserving Indian culture and Arsha Dharma, sagely tradition. Unlike the teachings of Sri Shankara, which are out of reach for dwarfed intellects, this Ganga of the story of Shankara flows down from those great heavenly heights and bathes all types of seekers in the sacred waters of profound peace. Ajana Pavana Kshira Swarupananda Dayini Punati Charitakara Shankaracharya Janhavi. Atma Tirtham. With these words, let this divine epic be introduced. Thus ends the first Sopanam.